Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, April 12th for live television in Enid, Oklahoma. We are live streaming around the globe at enidtv.org. Grab a cup of coffee and join us for the next 30 minutes. We've got news, weather, sports, all kinds of information. The monster truck guy is in the house this morning. You don't want to miss the show. Stay with us. Good morning, Enid. It is time to rise and shine.
Good morning, Enid. Thanks for joining us today on this wonderful Thursday morning. It's currently 62 degrees out there, but it's going to get a whole lot warmer. Let's look at that local forecast today. It's going to get to about 88 degrees, I think, with a low of 66 later today. The winds are 25 to 35 miles an hour out of the southwest side, but I mean, I can't complain. 88 degrees in April, not bad at all.
Not bad at all, yes. I'm definitely enjoying the warmer weather, and I hope this weekend continues to look this way. So let's see what this weekend holds for us.
We don't have it.
All right, so well, we do have, what we do know about this weekend is that it's going to be very windy. So make sure you prepare for that.
Do we have the statewide? Well, there's a 3-day forecast, and then we'll do the statewide in just a moment. So Sarah's got the 3-day forecast.
There's our 3-day weekend. So the temperatures are not too bad, but it is definitely going to be windy this weekend.
Yeah. Typical Oklahoma this time of year. Let's look at the statewide temps if we can here at 7:32 this morning. Go to the big city of Slapout. I have been to Slapout. It's basically an intersection, but I've been to Slapout, Oklahoma. Anyway, you can see it's real close to our temperature at 61 degrees. Down the southeast part of the state's a little cooler. It's Swink at 55 degrees. So if you're getting in your monster truck today and driving across Oklahoma, those are the temperatures that you will find across our state right now. Well, as you know, the schools have been closed for a week or so, and we don't have the school menu, ladies, but we've got a special announcement. I think it's going to be on the screen. So, Aaron, Sarah, what are we going to do about feeding kids?
It looks like
silence. Pause.
It looks like we got nothing but good news this morning.
Yeah.
During the teacher walkout, students will have access to meals. These are free meals, so all the details are on the screen, as you can see. There will be breakfast served from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. and lunch will be served from 11:15 to 12:30.
That's it. So that's the substitute for the menus, if you will. Hopefully we'll get back to the normal things. Everybody's back in school and stuff like that by either Friday or on Monday. Well, again, it's 7:33. We are so grateful that you're with us. This is show number 165 here on Good Morning Enid. And more people continue to watch the live television here in Enid, so thank you for doing so. Well, there's all sorts of good news, basketball, NBA good news, and we turn to one guy on Thursday mornings to find out what took place overnight, and that's Derek Silas, the bow tie guy, and he has the Oklahoma Minute.
Despite teacher objections, the governor signs a hotel tax repeal, and many schools are still closed across the state due to the teacher walkout. And in case you didn't know by now, this week is National Library Week. You can go visit our local Enid Public Library for Library Week events. And last night, the Thunder played its final regular season game against the Memphis Grizzlies in their favor, 137 to 123, and Westbrook secures his triple-double average for second consecutive season. The playoff games will begin Sunday with Oklahoma City versus the Utah Jazz. Here's an Oklahoma fun fact. Henry Starr, one of the last outlaws of the Old West, was from Oklahoma. During his 32 years in crime, he claimed to have robbed more banks than both the James Younger gang and the Doolin Dalton gang put together. And he was the first to use a getaway car. And on this day in history, in 1861, the Civil War begins. The war would be noted as the bloodiest 4 years in American history. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
Very good, Derek. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Derek, for that information.
He's dressed in the part today,
It's
isn't he?
Yeah,
Looking
he
really
looks great.
dapper.
Yes, Derek always looks great though.
He said that he woke up and that's what he had on.
Oh, wow.
So-
look at him. He woke up like that, huh?
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's a blessing.
I'll take his word for it. So it's
That's
7:35, and what's next, Miss Sarah?
We do want to take the time to remind you that if there's anything you want to share, any questions, comments, any pictures, anything you want to share with us, you can send them to gme@enid.org. Our Hastings cows. Holstein cows,
There you
sorry.
go.
Holstein cows are always there waiting for you.
You can call them Hastings. They'll come to you anyway.
That's true, they will. They're faithful.
We have, excuse me a second, Sarah. Thank you for introducing that. We have a special bulletin announcement that we need to put up on the screen today. I received a call earlier this week from some individuals who watch us from the big state or the great state of Minnesota. And the young lady to my left, who looks like she's 13 years old right there, she's got a big birthday on Friday. And so some special folks from Minnesota sent that picture, and they said, can you put our little girl's picture on there, celebrate her birthday? Can we see the little, there? Boy,
That's a wonderful
that's a long
picture.
time ago, huh, Aaron?
Just a few years.
You look the same, Aaron.
So we were trying to keep a surprise from a whole bunch of people. So happy birthday tomorrow, Aaron. We're glad that you're on the show.
Thank you.
And Mom and Dad up north, thank you for sending that. So, okay.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Thanks.
No more surprises. That's it.
That was a really sweet surprise. If you are looking for any plans this weekend, I know we went over the forecast and it looks to be windy, but there are some indoor events and some great events that are taking place here in Enid. And for that, we look to Aaron for what's happening.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, actually, we are starting off the weekend early by the garage sales start today, and they run all the way till Sunday. And if you want to sell any stuff, I hope you already have a permit because you got to get one of those. But if you want to go buy some stuff, it's open all weekend. And there's also Junk Nanza happening this Saturday at the Breeze from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is another way, if you do not have a permit to sell garage sale stuff, you can bring your stuff and buy a table there. There's 10 by 10 tables available or 10 by 20. And they're $20 or $40. And you can also go there to buy any kind of junk, goodies, baubles, basically anything that you would find at a garage sale, you could buy over here instead, all in one location. And it's hosted by the Enid Event Center. There's also food trucks and cold beverages available, and there will be a prize for the best decorated space. Then on Saturday, there's also Ballin' for Kids, which is at Northern Oklahoma College's Maybe Center at 10 a.m. Tickets are $5 for adults, $3 for kids, and 12 and under are free. Our very own EPD and EFD, the fire department and the police department, will be playing each other starting at 10 a.m. Also, Enid Elite's coaches and parents will also be playing that day too. It's a round-robin tournament. There'll be raffle, prizes, contests, concessions, and all the proceeds will be going to the Booker T. Washington Community Center, where the Enid Elite practices. Then this Tuesday, one of my favorite sports, baseball. There'll be baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie at the David Allen Memorial Ballpark at 7 p.m. And WOSU will be playing Oklahoma Wesleyan. There'll be free hot dogs, apple pie, and drinks, and there'll be giveaways throughout the event. The first 50 kids get free t-shirts, so that's always very fun. It's the Northwestern Oklahoma State University Rangers, if you don't know who they are. They're currently 17 and 22 right now, and 9-15 in the conference, so still got a ways to go, but they're doing pretty well. And the tickets are $7 for adults, $5 for students, and then 12 and under are free, and military are free. So if you're looking for baseball, basketball, or garage sales, this is definitely your weekend, and that's what's happening.
Very good, Aaron. Undoubtedly a lot of events. So we very seldom ever do a commercial, but speaking of the events, had the opportunity to go to a movie last weekend. It's called I Can Only Imagine. So when you take place or participate in all the events that Aaron talked about and the monster truck event, take time to go see the movie I Can Only Imagine. It is, like I said, very seldom do I ever promote a movie, but it would be worth your effort to see that. I Can Only Imagine. Well, Monster trucks is a big deal, and it's a big deal in our studio in just a moment. We've got a special guest to talk about all that here on Good Morning Enid. It's 7:40, holding steady at 62 degrees. We're working our way all the way to 88, and we'll have more right after this. Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us again for our show today on this Thursday, April 12th, and I appreciate that little spring footage there. Spring is trying to spring, if you will. Pictures of tulips and forsythia and everything else that's trying to get underway. Well, it's 7:41, and we have a special guest all the way from Hays, Kansas today, Mark Lindenberger. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mark, well, good morning. Thanks for being
Well,
here.
Thank you for having us.
And we're going to talk monster trucks. And it's one of Sarah's favorite topics. I know that. So,
Yes.
So we're going to do a
actually.
little tag team thing, Mark. So thank you for being with us today.
I appreciate it.
Good morning, Mark. We're glad to have you here this morning. I know when I think of a monster truck, I think of a giant truck, and I think of big tires, and I think of bright, fun colors. So I don't really know if that's what a monster truck is, but can you tell us a little bit or describe to us what really is a monster truck?
A really monster truck is 6-foot tires on it. It's got 6 by 43 by 25 tear tires. The trucks are basically about 10 foot tall, 10,000 pounds. And they are out there, kids just are in awe. I mean, it's something they're huge.
Mark, let's go back to the beginning, if you will, for some of us, including myself. To me, it seemed like monster trucks got on the scene maybe late 70s, early 80s or whatever. But let's go back way to the beginning, if you will. How did this monster truck idea take off?
It started way back. Everybody wanted their bigger, badder truck, one taller truck, meaner truck, see who could do the best. It started out in mud bogging. Then they went and actually Bob Chandler with Bigfoot, he put some 48s on under a pickup truck and
Which
did a
time
car
period?
crash.
Excuse me, Mark. What time period would that be?
80s,
Okay.
early
Okay.
80s, 82.
Okay.
And then you had more trucks come out. Everybody wanted their street trucks to get bigger, so they put bigger tires on. Then it transformed into a local promoter wanted a car crush. So they went out and crushed a car, and oh my God, it just went crazy. And then it has grown so much over the years, it's unbelievable. The suspensions were 2.5 ton military trucks, went to 5 tons, went to planetaries. Now they build their own housings, build their own frames, nitrogen shocks. I mean, it's just now they're jumping stuff taller than this building. And it's very, very grown. Kids love it to death. They see the trucks, they walk up to them, they're in awe over how big the
But
trucks are.
if you got a 6-foot tire, yes, I would think you'd be in awe. So.
Well, you have setups that kids like to sit inside the wheels and
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
But no, if you have never been to a monster truck show, what you see on TV doesn't do it justice. You got to see them in person. To see them up close and jumping like that is amazing.
That's awesome. I know right now that you were talking about how kids love it. Just Tuesday, my little one saw this really giant Jeep. And by giant, I meant like it had really giant tires. And you were right. He was so mesmerized over the tires.
Yes, they
so
are.
it's
They're in awe.
definitely something that's fun for the family, I'm sure.
And tell you what, if it wasn't for the kids, there wouldn't be no monster trucks. I mean, they see it, they say, hey, Dad, let's go to the monster truck show. And it's what the kids love.
That's awesome. It's awesome. So a little bit of history on when did you start in the monster truck
I
industry?
started, like I said, we started mud bogging back in the early 80s. And then we put bigger tires on a truck, and we were asked to crush cars at a truck pull. We had real narrow, skinny tractor tires. We turned around and went over the cars, and it was kind of a act in the middle. We were kind of the act where we weren't the main event, but we were just a filler act. And then we started putting bigger axles under it, and then put the big tires on it, and started traveling across the United States. And it really, really made a lot of nice people, and that's what's so cool about it. You get to go see different places, meet different people like yourselves. It's very, very good.
Good morning, Enid. At 7:45, our special guest, Mark Lindenberger, is in town for the Monster Truck Show. We have some B-roll footage we'd like to show at this time, and I want to talk to Mark as you're seeing some of this, as it's on the screen.
Yes.
Mark, you've got a special story. There's a lot more to you than just Monster Truck. You are a cancer survivor, and your effort about giving back to the community. You have fought cancer. Yes, you have a monster truck, but it seems like that truck is just the avenue for you to share your story about being a cancer survivor. So as we're watching this footage, just tell us about how cancer survivor role fits into all this.
Cancer affects everybody. I don't care who it is, cancer affects you. If it either affects you or affects your family. And that truck, people probably wonder, why is it all pink and purple and all that? Well, it's got a meaning. It's got a special meaning.
Sure.
A lot of my friends' wives were having breast cancer. And so we thought some way to give back would be to build a ride truck for cancer. And then I caught it. And I am 7 years cancer-free now. I had throat cancer. That's why my throat crackles and stuff. But we built the truck as some way to give back. We go to monster truck shows, fairs, and we give rides. We talk to cancer people that are maybe going through what I'm going through, or are survivors too. And we give them rides, and we donate partial proceeds back to the local cancers. It's kind of my wife and I's way of giving back to a bad deal and trying to make things a little bit better. We have things where people come up, give you hugs. They say, oh, my mom has had cancer or whatever, and we have our own T-shirts, and we will give shirts out to people like that to try to wear one of our shirts saying, hey, you know, we fight for cancer. I mean, it's a bad deal. You have to have a strong family, and it costs a lot of money. And thank God, I wake up in the morning, I thank him, and I go to bed, and I thank him for a chance to be alive, because it puts a different perspective on life after you go through this. People can say, oh, you got cancer, blah, 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 but until they actually are in my shoes or in the people's shoes that have cancer, they don't know. And you got to have a strong family and community behind you. And that's why we built the truck. It's a way for me to give back. And thank God I got good promoters, like Linda Beckley with Mega Promotions gave us a chance to come down here, her and her son, Scott. And it's a way to show the truck off and give back.
Very good. Mark, we've got one more question. We need to take a break here in just a little bit, but Sarah's got one more question for you.
Yes. By the way, what a beautiful meaning behind that truck.
Absolutely.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers this morning can relate and appreciate that theme. But in regards to the little clip we seen a little minute ago, can you tell us a little bit more about that truck?
That truck is the original Gravedigger 5. And we converted over from a race truck to a ride truck.
And we knew that.
And
Gravedigger, we knew that, yeah.
Back in if you see a little kid, you're just gonna go, Gravedigger, Gravedigger, yeah. That is the original Gravedigger 5 chassis.
I have learned so much so far this morning.
I know the guy built it, and we turn around and it's fully raceable. We converted from a rear engine to a front engine. You've got different shocks nowadays from the old days. You got nitrogen shocks. You got billet brakes, SCS drop box in it, transfer cases. Their truck runs a 502 Ramjet fuel injection in that one. Don't have the big blower motor or nothing like that like the race trucks do. But it's fully operational, fully functional, 66 by 43 by 25 tires on it, lightweight rims, China tires is what she got on her. And the biggest thing is what I still do, I sell parts to a lot of the monster truck guys, the planetaries. They've been on, by kind of crazy to say, but the planetaries on them trucks are back in the 1968 to 1975 military forklifts out of the Army, the Vietnam era. And they are just like indestructible. They're building their own parts now, but that's what almost 75 to 80% of them trucks run them Clark planetaries.
Wow.
And that's something back from the military days. The good old government built them good.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Our special guest today, excuse me, Sarah, our special guest today here at 750 is Mark Lindenberger. He's in town with Warrior and along with some other monster trucks here for the weekend. So.
Yes, and we do have a lot of questions for you, Mark, but the show must go on. So for just a quick minute, we're going to go ahead and bring Derek back with the Oklahoma Minute.
Thank you. Over teacher objections, Fallon signs the tax hotel repeal, and many schools are still closed across the state due to the teacher walkout. In case you didn't know by now, this is National Library Week. You can go visit our local Enid Public Library for a lot of library events. Last night, the Thunder played its final regular season game against the Memphis Grizzlies, 137 to 123. And the playoffs will be Sunday against the Jazz. Here's the Oklahoma fun fact. Henry Starr, one of the last outlaws of the Old West, was from Oklahoma. He claims that he have robbed more banks than both the James Younger gang and the Doolin Dalton gang put together. And on this day in history, in 1861, the Civil War begins. The war would be noted as the bloodiest 4 years in American history. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
Thank you, Derek. If you're just joining us, we're still holding steady around 66 degrees, but we are going to work our way up to 88 today. It's going to be very windy, just like yesterday, so you're going to have to hang on. But it's going to be very pleasant at 88 degrees. And I think, let's look at the 3-day forecast if we could. And Sarah, I think the weather's going to change.
It's going to change slightly. We are going to continue on with the wind, but our temperatures are going to drop a bit on Saturday and Sunday. But
Yeah, typical roller coaster.
that's right.
And speaking of the weather, we want to remind everybody about the burn ban that's in effect across the state. Typically, it's from I-35 and west, or the western part of Oklahoma. So be careful if you're out on the farm, or if you're barbecuing, burning trash. Probably want to wait on that. But you can see where the burn ban is, because we got to keep everybody safe. So keep that in mind. Also, for next week, we will not have a city council meeting. Typically, we do on the first and third Tuesdays. But the city commissioners will be in Washington, D.C. So there will not be a study session next week or a council meeting. And if you're with us at 8 o'clock, excuse me, this morning, there will be an interview that I conducted with Sherry Azell and also Jeff Clark. And it's, there we go, on the screen. Thank you very much for putting that up there, Penn. It's called the Welcome Home Project. It's kind of like Extreme Home Makeover, but right here in Enid, Oklahoma, this group, along with a lot of help, is going to build a home from the ground up for a disabled veteran, Enid, Oklahoma person. They've identified the family, but this Welcome Home Project will take place, and that interview is coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. So just real quick, and say in a minute or less, Mark, how can kids get involved? I know the kids want to come see, but do they get to ride in Warrior? Or tell us a little bit, just real quick if you could.
Yes, they come out there, and we'll have the truck set up, and they can walk up and pay to get on the truck, and we give them a ride over inside the Coliseum. And then if the weather was permitting, we would be doing it outside. But we give them a ride and take them back to be a really thrill ride. Even your age, in my age, love
My
it.
age, yeah.
Yeah, brings back the old days.
I'll tell you what, we're big kids, that's for sure. We're big kids.
Everybody's a kid at heart.
Now, Mark, part of this fee, you're giving back, right?
Right.
For the
To your
community.
local cancer.
Okay, very good.
Yes, indeed.
Very good, very good. And I don't know if you want another question. Well, I have another question, but we're going to go ahead and wait on that one. We do want to bring Charlotte to introduce our pet for this week before we continue on with the interview this morning.
good morning. Today we have Della, and she's a 1-year-old female. She's already fixed, so it's just the cost of a rabies shot to adopt. And she's very loving and sweet. She'd be a perfect lap dog for you, even though she's a little big. She's in Pen 3, and she really needs a new loving home. So if you're interested in Della, come by the shelter and see us. Can you put your ears up so they see how cute you are? I didn't say what kind of dog you are. You're just a good dog.
That's a good dog. Charlotte, thank you very much. 249-4910 is the number to call. Good morning, Enid. It's 7:55. And our special guest, Mark Lindenberger, brought his small pickup truck called Warrior. I guess it's probably the size of 4 pickup trucks. So, all right, Sarah, what's next?
Well, Mark, I know that you will be appearing at the Chisholm Trail Coliseum this Saturday, and you talked to us about rides or riding your monster truck. But what else will be happening on Saturday night?
It's going to be an action-packed show. Mega Promotions brings in top-notch trucks. You'll have 4 monsters. You'll have Barbarian, Raminator, Fluffy, and Radical Motion is other truck. And then you'll have tough trucks. They're local tough trucks, guys that go in there, and the crowd loves them. They're local guys. Just hop in there.
Excuse me, Mark, did you say Fluffy?
Yes, I said
Okay,
Fluffy.
I just want to make sure my hearing was tuned in for that.
A lot of you people.
We went from Raminator to Warrior to Fluffy, okay?
And Barbarian.
And Barbarian.
So you got a little bit of everything there.
Okay.
But no, Fluffy is a truck that is promoted, sponsored by, I think he's a comedian down by Florida or someplace. It's a big old Volkswagen, man. It's a big old van, Volkswagen monster truck.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Mark, we have just really a minute or so to go this morning. Now, you came down early from Hays, Kansas, and you brought Warrior with you. And if people saw it yesterday or if they've seen it around town, there's going to be other trucks that are in Enid on, say, Thursday and Friday. Where would they see some of these before the show on Saturday? Do you know?
My truck will be out front. In fact, she's going in town today someplace. I think Raminator's going to your Dodge dealership.
Okay.
So it'll be around Friday. And like I said, once the end of the week starts, the trucks start rolling on. The people vibe gets better. Everybody starts seeing the trucks around, and there'll be getting more excitement going on. Exactly.
So before the show, if they
have a pit party before the show, which is really cool.
Okay.
You get to come down and meet the drivers, get autographs, come and ride in the truck.
Did you bring us any autograph pictures, Mark?
You know what? I will get you some.
Well, Sarah was.
Sarah
was going to ask that, but I beat her to the.
If you, I would have said this. If I would have brought my T-shirts, if you would have wore one, I would have gave you a T-shirt to wear.
Well, next time.
I'll have the wife take care of that.
All right.
And then, like I said, it's a family affair. I have my wife, Brenda, and my little guy's Kobe. He's about 9 years old now. He was at his first monster truck show when he was 9 months old. And he's been a fanatic. You ask him any truck, he'll tell you.
That's awesome.
But that's what it's all about. It is the kids. And the kids, like I said, if it wasn't for kids, there wouldn't be no monster trucks. And never let what we always tell the kids, if it's your dream, do it. Because no one can tell you not to. Look at, live your dreams.
Very good. Mark, thank you for being here this morning.
I do appreciate you having me here.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here.
We've got just a few seconds before we close the curtain on another show. Sarah, it's good to see you. And thank you for your work this morning. And Derek, thank you. Everybody behind the scenes, thank you for helping us out this morning. This is Good Morning Enid. We hope you enjoyed the show. Go see all the monster trucks this weekend and meet Mark Lindenberger. And Mark, thank you for sharing your story.
And I wanted to say thank you again for having us. And Linda Beckley and Scott Beckley with Mega Promotions, they put a very good show on. So come on out.
Make it a good day, everyone. Thank you.